Good morning, everybody, and welcome once again to another edition of Lutys Chainsaw Mods. I've got something I want to show you today, but my God, it's cold in here today. It's I don't know, it's about -4 right there today, I think. And I have lit the fire in here, but it's taken a bit of getting going this morning. It's only been going about 5 minutes, so I'm just trying to warm myself up a bit. It's really cold today. Today I just thought I'd do a quick video on the air cleaner that I make. As I said on the other videos, this saw here is the one I've been tuning up over a long period. I've got it really powerful now. So I've got one of my other standard Chinese ones. I only mess about with the Chinese, to be honest with you. Yeah, I repair my stills and stuff. But I don't really mess about with them, and at the end of the day, the stills, all my stills are as powerful as they need to be, really. So I don't really need to mess about with them. But I like messing about with the Chinese ones. You know, I don't know, they're probably when you buy them 3.2 horse, they're probably about 1 horsepower below what you need them to be anyway. But you know, like I say, like I said before, this is my hobby, really, just messing about with them, getting them going as good as I can. I can bring, I'm fairly sure I'm probably pushing 5 horse on that one there now. And what I'm doing, I've got another standard one here, CS580 58cc Chinese, and I spent a bit of time. This I bought used. It's running, but it's pretty much like new. To me, it was ideal to do a tune-up job on. So I've lowered the cylinder and ported it as well. I've got the compressions massive on this now. It's flipping. It's really massive on it now. You know, it's 0.75mm squish on it, and ported piston. Opened all the windows up on the piston and ported the cylinder as well, and obviously lowered it, raised the all the ports, the transfers, etc., and the exhaust and intake. Raised them just slightly because I've lowered the cylinder quite a bit, so I've raised them just slightly. I don't want to mess about with the timing too much, the transfer timing too much, so I have just you know, I've raised it slightly. So here I am at the moment. Like I said, I've done everything to it that I can. I have had this running with the top covers off. Now, one of the main things with these, I mean, I put a big carby on it as well, and it's got my homemade intake manifold, which I make. I've got a few of them. So the thing with these, it's only got a tiny carburetor on it, really. You know, it's 18mm. I put one off a Husqvarna 372, 22mm across. This is an 18mm standard carb for these. So I swapped the carb, big intake manifold, obviously tuned all the cylinder up and everything, the piston and what have you, which I've pretty much copied that, but I have done a slightly more aggressive job on this one. And I've also, because it is a bit more aggressive, that one there's revving out now, flat out at 14,400 RPM. They are rated at 11,000 RPM normally. Now, because the compression ratio is raised more on this, and I have done more of an aggressive porting job on it, pretty much. I've altered the transfer timing very slightly, but more so I've really managed to open up all the transfers and everything, and in the piston as well. But what I've done to it also, I've lightened the piston a lot, because I know this is going to rev potentially a little bit more than that one, and that one's over revving quite a bit now. It's capable of doing that. So I've lightened the piston on it, which is going to relieve all the bottom end a little bit and the top end. Like I said before, yeah, it might blow up, it could blow up, but you know, it's all part of the fun for me of doing these. If I can get one and I do blow it up, and it's not because I haven't mixed the oil right or something, you know, basically because it's blown itself up, to me, I've then done as good a job as I can on tuning this engine. So it's a bit of a learning curve. I don't know how much they'll take, how much power they'll take going through them. Like I said, they're rated at 3.2 horse. I'm pretty sure that one's probably around 5, maybe might be a bit more, I don't know, around 5, because I compare it to me MS362C me still, and they're rated at 4.8. That one feels like it really could even be a bit better. They've got very good acceleration pickup. The revs are there instantly. Oh, the exhaust obviously is done. That one's got a really heavily modified exhaust on it, with a sonic cone inside and 2 large outlets. This one I wanted to modify the exhaust muffler, but I didn't want to really do too much work to it, so I looked into it. I've done a video before on the exhaust compared to me. I've got an 034 here, 034 still, and I basically copied the internals of that one, because that's a strong saw, that is, and I think the exhaust's got quite a bit to do with it. And they built in a rebound plate inside, and I basically copied that rebound plate, because the standard silencers, it's got a rebound plate in it, but there's not enough relief for the flow. So all I've done is opened up the sides of that rebound section, and I've opened them up massively, which they did on the 034. Still have done that to the 034. So I've basically copied that, and that's all I've done to that. As of yet, yes, I've run it, revved it a few times. It picks up nicely, you know. But I haven't given it a full proper go yet. I've had it running, tuned the carburetor up and what have you, and I've shut it down because okay, so they've got a small carb on them, and on the back end of the carb, which is like on there, they bolt this piece, which then that mounts the air cleaner on it. Okay, it's the air intake into the carburetor. Okay, so now that's an elbow look. Okay, that is going to cause a restriction. You know, without a doubt, that's going to cause a restriction. It's a lot smaller than the choke end of this Husqvarna 372 carburetor anyway. So that in itself, the size of it, is not going to do it justice at all. It's going to restrict flow, that is. Now, I did get one of these on the saw I did there. My first mod was grinding all this out, but it was paper thin by the time I got it to the size I wanted it. And at the end of the day, it's still an elbow. Now, an elbow is changing direction of flow. It's gonna slow the flow down. So I was never really happy with it. To top it all, that's the air cleaner on it, which it's not a huge air cleaner. So, you know, I got an idea, because I've done a mod to that one there. Now I've got an idea. The Stihl 034, what they do is they don't have anything like this air cleaner mount elbow. Okay, so what they do is the carb's fitted, and then they basically fit an air cleaner straight onto the back of the carburetor, a bit like that. It's upright and what have you, so it gets around everything. So that was the idea I had, which did come off that 034 Stihl. So I built one on this which I'll just show you. I built one. So I know it says Stihl on it. It's not a Stihl one. I make these, but it's the same idea as a Stihl air cleaner. Okay. I'll tip this on its side a little bit and I can show you a bit better, I think, hopefully. I don't know if you can see that very good or not. Okay, let's turn it a bit. That's better, isn't it? Okay, so let's put that under there. Put the grinder under there or something. Okay, so there's the choke and everything. Looks like you can see that. Okay, so yeah, I made this. I'll just show you how I did it. You know, you guys might be interested in making one. Like I said, it gets around that flow restriction problem with the air cleaner and with the elbow. So I've got a plate here. This one's made of steel. The one I'm making at the moment is aluminium. So I've got a steel plate in here with holes all drilled in it. Then on the outside, I put some mesh, steel mesh. Okay, so I cover the outside. I riveted the steel mesh on, and I cover the whole thing in sponge. You can see the steel mesh inside. Look, cover the whole thing in sponge, and you know, it's so it can flow from inside because that's all drilled, and all outside, so it can flow from all round. Okay, so you have to make this plate here to mount it with, and then it's just basically slotted down, screwed on, slotted down like that, put the screw in, and jobs are good. Okay, so that's how it works. Okay, that's how it fits and everything. Okay, just get that on. See if it fits on this one actually, because I think it should do. They're exactly the same, these motors. Can't seem to get it on there very good. See, I might have done something slightly different to this one than the other one, because this, obviously this filter was built for the other saw. I don't know. Just want to see that it does go on. That's all. Unless the bolt's not long enough on this one. It does look it. No, I think I might have ground the casing out a bit different. Okay, so I think it's catching down here on this saw. But you get the idea, okay? It fits on that one lovely, but obviously the back plates are made slightly different probably. The mounting hole is probably in a different place. But it's the same idea. Got a plate like that with a threaded hole at the top. The bolts that hold the carb down hold the plate on as well, and then you just literally put your filter over, do your screw up, and on it goes. Okay, now I'll put it onto this one. Obviously it does fit on this one, it's come off this one. There you go, straight on. It's gone straight on this one. But like I say, they're bespoke filters at the end of the day. They're just made for whatever saw they're on. So what I'd have to do if I wanted to fit this filter that I'm making onto that one, I'd have to swap these plates over, that's all. But, you know, it's not like they're going to be swapped around. So what you have to do, if you want to make one, you need some wire mesh. It doesn't have to be exactly like this, it's, you know, whatever type you want. I just thought that was good stuff, nice and lightweight. Now you have to make a back plate. This is the back plate I've made. Now, as I just said, I made this one out of aluminium. The one for the other saw is made in steel. And then you've got to fit in a spacer so that when you do your bolt up, it's not going to crush the filter up. Okay, how you do it is up to you. I mean, I've used an insert, which I've got that flush there, look. Okay, and I've drilled all this back plate. Like I said on the other one, I've done the same thing on the other one. It's all drilled so that it can draw air through anywhere really. Drill more holes if you wanted to, I don't know, but I thought it was good enough like that. So once I've done that, I would put the mesh over it and drill and rivet it all the way around, and then I would get the sponge, put the sponge all over it, and I use trimmer's glue, spray glue, just to, and make sure that you do the back side as well, because the sponge that goes around here forms the gasket to seal it to the carby. Okay, those holes there, those little eel-shaped holes, are to go over the mounting Allen bolts, like that. Okay, so they go over like that, and the bolt's going to obviously have a washer on it when it's all completed, and that goes in and I'll put a slot head on it as well, so I can use a screwdriver when I've done it. So the bolt goes in, and that's it. I put a little hump there to get around the spark plug, because obviously the top's got to go on this, which what I'm going to be doing now, I'm going to test fit the top, put this casing on, and then the top case, test fit it all to make sure I've got this plate low enough. I might have to lower these ends a little, I don't know, but I think it'll fit. So I've just got to tweak it a little bit maybe, and because I actually I've heated this aluminium up and let it cool down slowly, so it's much more malleable, which does help a bit. So once I've got it the shape right, what I'll do, I'll heat it back up and I'll anneal it and get it to harden up again. You've got to watch all the little burrs on these. Obviously when you drill it, you need to take off all the burrs, because otherwise you're going to draw them straight into the engine. So make sure you get all them off. Well, assuming if you like it, of course, and that's what you want to do. But you know, obviously the idea is that you know, you should achieve full flow from this. Now I've ground the back of the casing out here as well, and there's a sort of a gap as between where the casings join, so the gap is in a good position for this carb to be able to draw air through there as well as from around the case. There's different holes in the case. It's also, this saw's got air injection as well, which is gonna, you know, it's gonna blow through from the fan into here, so it should get plenty of air, this, when it's done. And yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it so far, but I'm going to finish it off now, drill it all, put the mesh on it, put the sponge on it, and away to go. And then this saw then is going to be, it'll be finished then, you know, it's back together, give it a little bit of a run later, and yeah, all good. I know whether they want to have another look just around, just to see how I did fit this carburetor. I could show you if you like. Okay, so Husqvarna 372 carburetor. So there's the piping for it. Just get my glasses just a moment. Okay, so yeah, there's the piping, look. Let's get a pointer. So the pulse pipe has to be moved. I mean, the hole for the pulse pipe is normally down here. Okay, so you have to relocate the pulse pipe to come through here. Then you have to make this little elbow shape, okay, and put a little pipe adapter on there, okay, to get your pulse pipe to work. And your fuel line is the same thing. The only thing you have to do is put an elbow here and a pipe to extend it off there. It's only because of the angles where they go, otherwise it pinches the pipes up. Okay, and I did do another video showing drilling the throttle hole where the throttle control goes. Like I say, there's my plate, look, that I make. Bolted on with the carb bolts. As you can see, all these spindles, look, have been thinned. See that where the nuts have been taken right down. Yeah, taking the nut right down. The spindle is, both spindles are nice and thin, been ground down. It's a massive carb on these. They work really well. They take a bit of tuning, these carburetors. Yeah, take a little bit of tuning up, these carbs do. Because obviously the jets are far bigger on these than they were meant to be. So, yeah. I think that's it for today, really. Just showing you a quick little look round the carb, and showing you me free flowing air cleaner that I'm making. It goes on, it all fits under the cover and everything on these. So I really hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching once again, Lutys Chainsaw Mods. See you again. Bye for now.